Hi guys, Mollie Lawrence here. I'm here with Mia Baker for the American Golf supporting Virtual Women's Golf Day. We're chatting about the weird and wonderful language of golf.
Yeah, so I'm a relatively new golfer and there is so much terminology out there. It's actually very, very confusing.
So to help us get our head around the lingo a bit more, myself and Mia have created an A-Z Glossary of Golf.
So the first letter is A for address. So addressing the ball is when you place the club behind the ball, ready to start your swing. So how do you always address your ball, Mollie?
So I make sure that I'm set up to my target line, I get relaxed, and then I step into the ball and hit the shot.
Okay, B is for bar keys, hitting the ball at a tree and still getting a good score. Have you ever done that before?
I have tried, but I failed miserably.
Okay, C, the chip. A chip is a short shot played close to the green where the ball pops in the end, hopefully rolls into the hole. So what is your best chipping tip?
I would say just practice every type of chip there is, whether it's a flop shot or a chip and run. Just get the variety of all chips. So D is for divot. A divot is a chunk of grass that comes out of the ground when you strike the ball. So Mia, what is the worst divot you've ever hit?
I spend most of my time making divots and I spend more time repairing them than playing golf.
I would say my worst divot is when I've actually hit my ball and the divot's hit someone that I've been playing with. So E is for etiquette. Mia, how would you sum it up in one sentence?
I'd probably say it's just about being nice to other golfers.
Yeah, definitely. So now we're on F, which is fried egg. I mean, Mia, have you ever heard of that term?
I have never heard of a fried egg, have you?
No, never.
Literally, it's like golf is just about food, fried egg,
Food, literally.
chips.
Well, it says here it's when the ball is half buried in the bunker and it looks like a fried egg, which actually makes sense now when you think about it. Like top of the ball, like a fried egg.
People would look at me strange if I said that though. So G is for gimme, and that's when your ball is super close to the hole but your opponent just lets you have the shot. So H is for hook, and that's when you hit the ball and instead of it going straight, it actually heads off left. So what's your best tips for stopping hooks, Mollie?
I would say the main thing is to not roll the wrist through impact, and to not stay so much on the right side. I is for iron. An iron is a set of clubs numbered 1 to 9. Mia, what is your favourite iron?
So I used to love a 7, but now I really like my 8 and my 9.
Oh, okay. How have you gone off the 7?
I don't know, I've just started practicing more with my 8 and 9. Honestly, I just pick out a club and it just happened to be an 8. So J is for junior, which is the name given to an amateur golfer under 19. So Mollie, what advice would you give to a junior?
So the advice I would give is women's golf is becoming a dominant force within the industry. So to all the juniors who are currently playing or who are thinking about taking it up, I would encourage them to keep focused, take advantage of the opportunities that are coming and realise you can make an amazing career doing what you love.
Oh, that's so nice. That's so nice. I want to be a golfer.
So K is for knock. A knock is another word we use for a ground of golf. So Mia, who is the one woman in the world you'd love to have a knock with?
So obviously apart from you, I'd love to have a knock with Lily P. She's super cool.
Oh, okay. Really nice.
Yeah, yeah, super cool. So L is for loft. I've heard loft a lot when you're picking clubs, and here it says it's the angle of the club face. So what does this actually mean, Mollie?
So loft-wise, so if I'm using my driver, I use a 12-degree loft. It just helps me launch the ball a lot higher, gives me more carry and distance.
So M is for Mulligan. Actually, the first time I heard this term was from a golf quiz I got at Christmas, but it basically means when your opponent lets you take a shot again. So how often do you give out mulligans, Mollie?
So if I'm in a tournament, I never give a mulligan out. But if I was playing with you or a friend, then I am very forgiving.
Thanks. So N is for the 19th, which is the 19th hole, aka the bar. What's the best golf bar you've ever been to?
I would have to say El Prat, which is in Barcelona. It was really good food, good atmosphere, and they were so welcoming. So O, which is for OB. OB means out of bounds. This is when your ball lands outside of the field of play. So like white sticks, walls, fences, and white lines show you where out of bounds is.
I'm a bit nervous about getting out of bounds. I don't know what advice you'd have.
So I would say like not to worry about it. Just focus on the next shot. You don't want that hole to ruin your whole round.
So P is for par, the number of shots. It says here a good player. I think anyone can get a par in order to complete a hole. So how did your first par feel?
Really good actually. I felt like a sense of achievement that I've actually managed to par a hole. It was like all the practice that I've done's paid off. So Q is for Q School. So qualifying school is a tournament every year. It's when all professional golfers or even amateur golfers come and try and make it to the main professional tour.
How would you sum up Q School?
Tough, mentally draining. You've got to be so focused the whole week you're there. R is for rough. Rough is the long grassy area either side of the fairway, which you definitely want to avoid if you can. So Mia, have you been practicing out of the rough?
Actually, I have took a ball into a field and I've just been playing it where it lies. So I think that's
that's really good. Yeah, definitely.
So S is for Shank, a specialty of mine. And it's when a golfer hits the ball with any part of the golf club apart from the face of the club. So I'm going to tell you about my worst shank. We have a quarry wall and I'm hitting into a net and it bounces off the wall and everyone's in the garden and a ball comes back. I have to shout "4" at everyone.
I would say my worst shank was probably hitting a shank straight OB. That's probably the worst for me. So I would avoid shanking the shot by, doing everything consistently in my routine. Even the best golfers in the world shank it, so it's kind of inevitable that you've got to hit a shank once in a while.
That makes me feel better.
So we're now on T for tees. So tees are the small plastic or wooden stands you put on the ball when you're on the tee, which is a starting point for any player.
So I've actually seen some really cool recycled tees. So they're made of recycled materials.
Cool. Really? That's really
good.
Yeah, I think we should all be changing over to them.
Definitely. So U is for up and down. And I've never heard of this one before, but it's when you take 2 strokes to get your golf ball into the hole. So what's your best ever up and down?
So it was in Sweden actually. It was actually on a par 5. I hit this ball straight over the back of the green in the longest grass ever. I actually managed to find my ball, which I don't know how. I hacked it out and I holed the shot. So I walked off feeling like I've just made a hole in one.
That is so good. So V is for Velcro. And apparently this is the speed of a putting green. If it's really slow, like Velcro. Do you prefer a fast green or a slow green?
I would prefer to play fast greens just because you can keep your rhythm going, especially on slow greens. You kind of just get out the rhythm and kind of just try and whack it so much harder.
Yeah, I think fast greens would be easier.
And you can just do like your normal smooth stroke, whereas when you're slow, you're kind of like having to hit it 100 mile an hour.
And the putting match you practice with are fast, so
Yeah.
it's really weird when you have to play a slow green.
Yeah, definitely. W is for wedge. Wedges are golf clubs for shorter, softer shots. These are 4 types of wedges: pitching wedge, lob wedge, gap wedge, and sand wedge for bunkers. So Mia, what type of wedges have you got?
So I've actually got a pitching wedge, a gap wedge, and a sand wedge, but I don't have a lob wedge. And I also don't know what to do with a gap wedge either.
So I only play with 3 wedges as well, actually. Play with a 58, a 54, and a 50. So I think it's kind of preferable.
What's a 58? A pitching?
58, I hit out of like a bunker or a flop shot, trying to get the ball up as quickly as possible to stop.
So X is for Xander Schauffele.
Shuffle? Shuffle?
Schauffele.
Shuffle. Shuffle. I don't know how you
don't
say
respect him. Sorry, Xander.
Xander Shuffle. Shuffle? Souffle. No.
He's an American golfer who plays on the PGA Tour, and hopefully we've not offended.
Yeah.
So Mollie, who's your favourite female player on tour?
I would say it would have to be Laura Davis.
Why?
She's just so cool, the way she just
Really?
walks to the tee and whacks down the turf and tees a ball up.
That's pretty
I have to send you a link to show you that.
Yeah, do. Definitely.
So, Y is for yardage. The yardage is the length of hole written on the scorecard. So, Mia, what is the longest drive you've hit so far?
I'm really not sure because I don't really know how you track it, but it's been claimed that nearly 200 yards.
Oh, decent. That's really good.
It was a whack. Mollie, what's your longest drive you've ever hit?
I'd say my longest drive was 265. I whacked that.
Wow.
I'm not the longest hitter, so when I hit that, I was like, oh my God.
That is insane.
We'll get you there one day.
So Z is for zone. So you're said to be in the zone if you're playing super well. So what do you do, Mollie, to get into the zone?
So to mentally prepare for my tournaments, I put some upbeat music on in the mornings. I would analyse the golf holes the night before. Also, doing your practice times is really important. So, like knowing how long you've got to go on the range, chipping green, putting green before tee times.
So I've definitely learned a lot of new terminologies there. I'm not sure about you, Mollie.
Yeah, definitely, especially with the fried egg.
Me too.
So guys, let us know what your favourite terms in golf are. Comment below.
Right, see you later.
Bye everyone.